Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right, all praises be to the power of Amos, King Jacob, the power of Israel, for his mercy truly endures forever. We are here in the blessed day, the Shabbat day, the day that was given to us, appointed day, that was given unto us to convocate, to come together, and to review the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in the scriptures. It's also a day of worship, a day that we cease from our own deeds, our own will, our own actions, our own mind, our own thoughts, our own minds, and we give ourselves wholly unto the Abanawa Yahweh, our Father Yahweh. Okay. So this is the Shabbat day as it is written in the Holy Torah. Let's get Colossians 3, verse 17, giving all praise to the Most High in the name of Mashiach Yahushua.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Adonai Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by him.
Right. Always giving all praises to the Most High in the name of the Messiah. Okay. We serve the higher in the name of the Messiah. Okay. This is as this Bible prescribes us to do. This to serve the Most High Yah, praise his name, and we go to him. We go to him in the name of his Son. All right. Let me get Exodus 35 and 1. Exodus 35 and 1. Now we do move around the scriptures quite a bit in here. You know, you'll get used to it. You know what I mean? But that's how the Bible tells us to read it, line upon line, precept upon precept. So we prove all things according to the word of Yah. Read that.
Exodus 35 and 1.
Uh-huh.
And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together.
Of who?
Of the children of Israel together.
Right. So Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together. So everywhere our people are gathering together on this day. Okay, our people that have woken up to the fact that they're Hebrew Israelites, they're no longer black no more. Don't call me black no more, as Kendrick said. Right? So they've woken up and realized, okay, we Hebrews, we Israelites, we gotta gather together on this day. So Moses gathered all the congregation of Israel together. It didn't matter what area, what town they was from, they gathered together in their respective, from the respective places. Read.
And said unto them,
what did he say? These
are the words which the Most High have commanded, that ye should do them.
Right. So he said, I'm about to give you instruction directly from the Most High. This is what the Most High told me to tell you. Read.
6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be to you an holy day.
Right. So what kind of day is today? This is a holy day. Okay, from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday is a holy day. He said this will be a holy day. 6 days, you could work, do what you got to do, take care of responsibilities. You know, those in school, do your homework, do everything you got to do. Those at work, go to labor out there, go make your daily bread. But on this day is a holy day, separating this day from the other 6 days of the week. Okay, this is a separate day. It's not like any other day of the week. Read.
A Sabbath of rest to
the
Most High.
Sabbath of rest. Okay, a Sabbath of rest. Okay, so the Sabbath means to cease. It means you stop, and then you stop and you rest from everything that you were doing throughout the week. Okay, whether it be things of to make money or things just you like to do, hobbies, whatever it is, right? On this day, you rest from all that. All right, read on.
Whosoever doeth work therein,
right,
shall be put to death.
Read it from that top again, from 2 again. 6 days.
6 days shall work be done,
but
on the 7th day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Most High.
Right, to the Most High, a Sabbath of rest to the Father. The Father gave us this day. He said, listen, I'm gonna give you 6 days. But that 7th day, that's my day. That's the day you rest. Okay. This is something we don't learn in society. You know, they tell you to go to church on Sunday. And then you go to church, and right after church, what do you do? Pack the mall, pack the store, right? Clog up all the restaurants. Nobody else can't get a seat. I mean, church people coming in there, right? All right, doing everything else because all they do is give the Most High about 3 hours tops. The Most High asked for the whole day. He said, "This is a holy day." Even a lot of us in Israel, do we realize that Shabbat starts Friday sundown? So from Friday sundown, there should be nothing going on other than what the Father has for you to be doing. There should be no other business you're entangled with, and that's holding you back or holding you from doing the Father's will. Now, it takes time to get there. That's not an overnight thing. Sometimes you might come out the world, you're used to doing certain things. Take your time, grow to this point, but make sure that you get there. Right? Let that be your destination, that you're able to actually give yourself wholly unto the Most High on the Shabbat day. In order for you to do that, you got to pay a lot of attention to what is called the 6th day or the day of preparation. Right? The day of preparation is what we call Thursday. All right? When the sun goes down on Thursday, you're beginning what is called the day of preparation. When the sun goes down Thursday, you're supposed to be in a mind state of, oh man, this is time for me to prepare for the Sabbath. What do I need to get done, take care of before the Sabbath? I have a whole day. So the Most High, He worked it out. He told us how to accomplish the Sabbath. In order to accomplish the Sabbath, we must accomplish the day of preparation. How we do right in the day of preparation, the Sabbath is going to be a smooth sail right through the Sabbath. If we're not even thinking about the Sabbath on the day of preparation, then if you start thinking about the Sabbath as the sun is going down on Friday, you late. And then you're going to be scrambling, and then you're not going to be ready to enjoy the rest and the Sabbath that the Most High has given us. So we got to be mindful. We have the day of preparation, and then we have the Shabbat. Okay? Get everything prepared. Get everything that you need. Start looking around. What do I need? Where's my garment? Where's my scarf? Where's my dress? Where's my everything? My fringes, everything. So that when the Sabbath comes in, you're right in line. All right, read on.
Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death.
Right, whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. It was a crime punishable by death to be out there working on the Shabbat. Yeah.
I got an example. Numbers 15 and 32. That old man picking
up sticks. Picking up sticks, right. Right, so we have, that's a precedent, right? We don't.
Verse 3, ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
Right, so what does that mean by kindling fire? Huh? Cooking, right. That's why we don't cook on the Shabbat. Okay. We don't, it's not time to have, a barbecue. And in this world where Saturday is barbecue day, right? Everybody at the park sparking the grill. That's against Torah. It's against Most High. It's not time to spark the grill on the Shabbat day. Okay? Time to put the grill away. Right? Why? Because you should have prepared everything that you were going to eat when? What day? The day of preparation, which is what we call Thursday at even. Right? That's the day that you're supposed to take to say, okay, let me prepare for the Shabbat. Okay. You understand? It's like on Sunday. Everybody that works a Monday through Friday week. When Sunday come around, they go, all right, I got to prepare for work. What do I need? You know what I mean? If they have to get their lunch or whatever the case may be, they clothes together. If they got to iron, they got whatever they got to do, they get it done Sunday because they know what? Monday, they got to get up and go sleep. Right? It is what it is. Right? So, if you can take that initiative with your workplace, you have to do the same or even better for the Most High Yah. You should get more attention than anything else. Why? Because He gave you the job. Right? But sometimes we give more attention, more We put a higher priority on the things of this world and not the things of the Most High. The Most High requires this of us. He requires us to have a holy day. All right? That's in the scripture, that's in our law. Today is that day. Okay? So we have to make sure, that we are putting it in the right perspective and that we're honoring the day as the Most High told us. Read on.
Verse 4. And Moses spake unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying.
That's it on that. So, one more on the Sabbath day. Give me Exodus 16. Hold on a second.
Does it go straight from that place?
No, that's I know that. I'm gonna stay in the Torah. I'm gonna stay in. Just give me Leviticus 23, verse 1.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1.
Mhm.
And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feasts of the Most High, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts.
Right, so the word convocation means gathering, holy gathering, that ye shall proclaim. That means that the Most High is not going to continue to tell us when the Sabbath day is. He's not going to continue to show us the Sabbath. Once he's told us when the Sabbath is, it's on us to proclaim it now. Just like we have the Hanukkah coming up Monday. Monday evening is a Hanukkah. If we don't proclaim it, then it'll go by, just another Monday. Because we live in a kingdom that doesn't represent the law, statute, commandments of the Most High God. They could care less about what this Bible says in this kingdom. This kingdom is waiting to what? Celebrate what? Christmas, right? They get ready for New Year's. They don't care about no Hanukkah, no these things. And the so-called the fake Jews, the white man that called himself a Jew, he claims to put forth Hanukkah, but he doesn't even follow according to what the scriptures say about Hanukkah. He made up a whole story on top of Hanukkah that don't even has nothing to do with Hanukkah. Okay. Because had he really gave the real story of Hanukkah, then he would be like, that's the story of we triumphing over the Grecians. The story of Hanukkah is us killing the Grecians and taking them out of our temple. Right? I don't think he would want to bring that to the forefront. I think he want to leave that in the past. And let's make up a new story about lighting lights and festival of lights, because we don't want to talk about Maccabees that rose up and was killing all the Grecians and took them out of our temple and kicked them out, right? Cut down all the groves and stood up valiantly for the Most High God. They don't want to talk about that. But that's what Hanukkah is really about. If you know anything about Hanukkah, you got to know the name Judas Maccabeus. If you don't know who Judas Maccabeus is, then there's no Hanukkah without him, right? And what was he? A warrior, right? A general that took down the Grecians in that time, about 165 BC. So they give us some sort of fake alternative to Christmas, Hanukkah, in this world. When you're wrapping gifts, just like a Christmas tree, just like a Christmas gift, we just use different color paper, right? I know my paper is blue and silver. I'm celebrating Hanukkah. It's the same thing. You just celebrate another Christmas. That's all they're doing. They're celebrating a different Christmas, right? But we're going to keep the Hanukkah as it is written. We're going to come together. You're going to learn of the Hanukkah. You're going to learn what it's all about. We're going to have our celebration. We have the flyers here. They may not have seen them. Right. This is where it's going to be. So if you need one, after a break time, come and get one. Right. You don't have to have many, but come take a picture of it or something. Right. All right. So you have this information. Okay. This is where we're going to celebrate the Hanukkah. And when you leave this celebration, you're going to know why a Hanukkah is a celebration and why it's a week-long celebration and how glorious and wonderful that celebration is. All right? Read on.
Verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein.
Ye shall do no work therein. That's right. A holy convocation, you're not supposed to be doing any laborious work. Right? We're supposed to come together. That's what the Sabbath was given for us to do, as is written, and that's what we're going to do. That's why we're here in this time, in this place. Okay? To keep that, keep this day holy and holy day. All right, read on.
It is the Sabbath of the Most High in all your dwellings.
Right, it's the Sabbath of the Most High in all your dwellings. So we're going to continue to keep this Sabbath. Right now we're here in America. We're not in Israel, but we're still going to keep this Sabbath. Because in all our dwellings, no matter where we go, it's the Sabbath day. Everybody understand that? All right, so let's get back to, let's get to the portion. The portion for this Shabbat day will be Genesis. Is what? Let me double check it before I say. Genesis 37:1 to Genesis 40:23. Genesis 37:1 to Genesis 40:23. So let's get Genesis 37, verse 1.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 1. And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives.
Right.
And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors.
Right. So between Joseph and his brothers, there was a lot of turmoil. You know what I mean? There was jealousy. They felt that Joseph was treated better than the other brothers. Okay. So they always looked at Joseph with a problem. They used to give him a hard time. So that's why he said he brought his father an evil report, meaning that the other brothers didn't want to deal with Joseph amongst themselves. Partially, Joseph was a lot younger than the other brothers. He was born later on. All right. So, it's like that little brother that they felt got too much attention from their parents. So like little sibling rivalry there. All right, read on.
Verse 4. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him.
Right, so what? They would give him a hard time. They would pick on him. Okay, they didn't speak peaceably with him. Right, because he was the baby, but they didn't look at it that way. They looked at it as he was favored by the Most High. All right, or favored by Joseph, by Jacob, their father. And they didn't like that. All right, read on.
And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet the more.
Right, so everything he said, they only despised him more and more. Right, he dreamed a dream, and when he told them of the dream that he had, they were like, this guy, they wanted nothing to do with Joseph. Okay, read on.
And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheep arose, and also stood upright. And behold, your sheep stood round about, and made obeisance to my sheep.
Right. I mean, obeisance to my sheep. What does that mean? They bow down to my sheep. Your sheep bow down to my sheep. So they're looking at this guy. These guys for real, man. How you gonna tell me our sheep bow down to yours? Or your sheep supposed to be better than ours? Right? So okay, you see, there's a rivalry, a problem here, but it's a dream. You don't have control of a dream, huh? Right. Whatever dream you dream, that's it. You know what I mean? You can't say, oh, you can't get mad at somebody because what they dream. Nobody can control their dream. But they already had angry spirits towards him, so it didn't matter what he said. They was gonna have a problem with him. All right, read on.
And his brethren said to him, shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words.
All right, come on.
And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren, and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he told it to his father and to his brethren. And his father rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee, to the earth?
Right. So even the father was like, yeah, this guy dreams. He rebuked him for his dreams. He said, man, your dream is wicked. What, you supposed to all bow down to you, Joseph? Who do you think you are? Right? But they forgetting that what? You don't control your dreams. Right? When you, hold on, get Job. When you lay at night and a dream is brought to you, you have very little say so on what the dream is going to tell you. Yeah. Yeah, 33:14.
Job 33:14.
Mm-hmm.
For the Most High speaketh once, yea, twice.
Yeah.
Yet man perceiveth not.
Right. Sometimes the Most High speak to you, you don't even realize it's the Most High. Right. When the Most High speaks to you, he don't come to you and say, hey, it's the Most High. All right. So he doesn't give you a identification. All right. It's an unction. It's a spirit that comes to you that's guiding you in a right direction, in a righteous direction. Okay. Read.
In a vision of
what?
In a dream.
In a what?
In a dream.
In a dream. So sometimes the Father will come to you in a dream. Okay? Will come to you in a dream. He said, man, I had a dream. And it seems so real. Right? Now we have to interpret the dream, but that's how he could communicate. That's one of the ways he communicates with us. In a dream or what?
In a vision.
In a vision. You might be wide awake and something takes over your mind. Anybody experience that? You wide awake and then you just start thinking on something. It's like people say, oh, you daydreaming. Right? That's what people call daydreaming. That might be a vision. You don't know what the Most High is trying to sit up in your vessel. What he's trying to show you. Read on.
In a vision of the night,
mm-hmm.
when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed.
Right. So when you sleep at night, slumbering on the bed, he can give you all kind of visions and understanding. Read on.
Then he openeth the ears of men,
mm-hmm.
and sealeth their instruction.
Right. He opens your ears and seals the instruction where? In your what? In your mind. So something is said to you in your sleep, and it's sealed in your mind, and you're not even aware all this is going down. You don't know where all this instruction is happening. All you did was sleep, right? But the Father's dealing with you while you sleeping. Read on.
That he may withdraw man from his purpose.
That he might do what?
Withdraw man from his purpose.
That he might what? Control you. Because you might have had a purpose. You might think, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That was your idea. But the Most High seal a thought in your spirit that now changes your mind. Like, yeah, I was going to do that, but I don't want to do that anymore. Like my spirit changed. right? For some reason. You're like, I don't know why. I was going to go there, but I'm not going there anymore. Most High done seal destruction in your head. You don't do none the wiser. Okay. A lot of times people have to make a decision. They say, what? Let me sleep on it. You know what? Let me sleep on it. They don't realize why they say that. Because oftentimes, when you sleeping, the Most High can what? Give you instruction. Give you guidance in the midst of your slumber. Okay? Read on.
And hide pride from man.
And hide pride from man. What's the pride? That we know what everything we're supposed to do. We got it. You know what I mean? We're so smart. You take that pride out of you. Right? You say so, Chef?
Oh, Proverbs 20:24.
20.
24.
All right. All right. Read on.
He keepeth back his soul from the pit.
He does what?
He keepeth back his soul from the pit.
He that Most High will save you from you destroying yourself. You had a great idea that really wasn't all that great when you was up the day before. Then you went to sleep. The Most High said, la in your ears. No. So you woke up like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do what I was thinking I was going to do yesterday. Because the Most High just saved your soul from the pit. But you about to go into something that was not righteous. All right? That was not the way of Yah. So this is how he helps us. Read on.
And his life from perishing by the sword.
Right, and his life from perishing by the sword. You about to go get yourself killed. All right? You're about to get yourself killed. But the Most High sent that thought, you know what? I'm not going to go out there. Yeah, I know I was going to go yesterday, but nah, the spirit changed, man. I'm not going out there. Then you get the story about what happened out there. Like, wow, I'm glad I didn't go. You know, the Most High saved your soul from the pit. We got to know how to listen to that thoughts, listen to that instruction when we're slumbering upon the bed. Okay? What you call Proverbs 20:24?
Yeah.
Right, that's a good one.
Proverbs 20:24. Man's goings are of the Most High.
Right?
How can a man then understand his own way?
Right. How could a man then understand his own way? Man's goings are of the Most High. Right? So we have to be mindful that the Most High can control, you know, our path, our steps. Okay? We can't always want to be in total. Some people say they're like a control freak. They got to have control of everything. Right? And he wrestling. But you can't wrestle with the Most High Yah. You're going to lose that one. So better you listen to the instruction as guiding you towards righteousness. Read that verse again.
Man's goings are of the Most High. How can a man then understand his own way?
Right. Jump down to 21st chapter and first verse.
Proverbs 21 verse 1.
Right?
The king's heart
Right?
is in the hand of the Most High.
Come on.
As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Come on.
Every way of a man is right in his own eyes.
Come on.
But the Most High pondereth the hearts.
Right. The Most High is going to give the ultimate decision. You might think it's right. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. But that might be a horrible idea. You won't know that because every way of man is right in his own eyes. You say, well, you know what? Yeah, that makes sense. But the Most High said, nah, it's not going down that way. Okay? So we have to prepare ourselves to be what? Guided and controlled by the Most High God. All right? And he's only going to push you to do righteousness. He ain't going to have you sin. The Most High will not have you go sin. You can't tell me, well, yeah, the Most High, he told me that, you know, eat this ham sandwich because you needed energy to go on that long run. You lying. The Most High did not tell you that. So if you get an instruction to do something wicked, you got to know that's not the Most High. How do we know that's not the Most High? What you got?
Is that right? 34:7.
That's one. What else? Anybody got anything else? 34:7 was all right. Anybody else? Verses? How do we know that the Most High will not guide us into sin? What you got, Shem?
James 1:13.
I like that. James 1:13. Anybody else? Any other ones? There's many scriptures. There's one more that I'm looking for, but give me James 1:13. Then we'll get sidetracked. But that's not the chopper yet. I want the sharp sword. You know, I like scriptures that cannot be rebutted, cannot be argued with. It's the chopper. That's what we call those. Sisters give me scriptures too. You know, that sisters gotta know scriptures. How do we know that the Most High will not guide us to do that which is unlawful? All right. First, let's get
James 1:13.
James 1:13. Let's get that.
James 1:13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High.
Right.
For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil.
Come on.
Neither tempted he any man.
That's right. He ain't trying to make you do evil. He can't be tempted with evil, neither he tempt you to do evil. We don't want you to do evil. Read.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
Of his what?
Of his own lust.
So when you want to do wickedness, that's your own mind. You want to do that. The Most High not making you do that. That's your own spirit that's drawing you towards sin. Okay. Father said, I got nothing to do with that. I never told you to do that. Because that's against my Torah. I will not tell you to do something against the Torah. Everybody see that? Read on.
And enticed.
And enticed. So you drawn upon your own mind as something what? Entice you. What do you mean to entice you? Like it gets you to want to do it. Right? Offers you a gift. Gets you interested. Okay? That's how you're enticed. Read on.
Then when lust hath conceived,
right?
It bringeth forth sin.
Right. When lust has conceived, what is lust? Another word for lust. Give me another word for lust. Give me covetousness and what else? And desire. That's the two words I'm looking for. Desire and covetousness is lust. When you want something so much. When you're drawn upon your own lust, what you want. And you want it so much that you're willing to turn your back on the commandments of the Most High in order to obtain it. Most High did not guide you that way. That's your own mind. Okay. Now give me that's on that. Give me Surah 37. Anybody want another verse for me? Go ahead. 30 what? 15 and 20, that's right. That's what I wanted. But what? 34 verse 7.
34 verse 7. Sirach 34 verse 7. For dreams have deceived many.
Right.
And they have failed that put their trust in them.
Right.
The law shall be found perfect without lies.
Right. So what? When you get a dream, if it's something unlawful, we know not to trust it. You only trust it if it's lawful, if it's according to the commandments. Okay. And sometimes you get a dream, it's just to give you a notification, not for you to do anything really, but to wait to see how things play out. Somebody get a dream to do something, jump up and go do it. All right? Did you consult the commandments before you made that decision? Right? You got to make it before you make a decision. You got to do what you got to make sure. Is that right? Is it according to Torah? Okay. Martin Luther King had a dream, right? He told it to everybody. Was that dream according to the commandments? No. His dream was not according to the commandments of God. Most High never said he want all us to draw together and hold hands and sing Negro spirituals together, right? And drink out and say 1 to 5. Yeah, that wasn't what I was married. You know, our sons marrying their daughters and their daughters marrying our sons. That never was a dream of the Most High. That was in his own head, right? The Most High's dream is going to be according to his will. The dream that he gives you, the instruction he gives you, will be according to his will. All right. Let me get a chapter now. Give me Sirach 15, verse 20.
Sirach chapter 15, verse 20. He hath commanded no man.
No. Say not. Right, 11. Sorry. That's where you start at.
Sirach 15, verse 11.
Right.
Say not thou, it is through the Most High that I fell away.
Right. Say not thou, it is through the Most High that I have sinned. Don't ever blame the Most High for your wickedness. He didn't make you do that. Okay. Read on.
For thou oughtest not to do the things that he hated.
Right. We're not to do the thing that the Most High hates. Read on.
Say not thou, he hath caused me to err.
Right.
For he hath no need of the sinful man.
You see that? So don't even say it. Because he has no use for the sinful man. Okay. Read on.
The Most High hateth all abomination.
The Most High what?
Hateth all
He
abomination.
hates all abominations. Okay. To dine on swine's flesh is an abomination. Okay? That's what the scriptures say. He says, you know, eat of their flesh, for it is an abomination. Okay. He said he hates all abominations. Read on.
And they that fear the Most High love it not.
And if you fear the Most High, you hate abominations also. All right. Is homosexual abomination? Just check. Read on.
He himself made man from the beginning,
Right.
and left him in the hand of his counsel.
What's your counsel? Your mind. Okay. You have your own mind. You got a head on your shoulders, right? You got to use your noggin, right? So he gave you your own counsel. But he guided us right from wrong, but you ultimately had to make that decision on what you're going to do. Nobody can make this decision for you. You got to decide. You got to see sin for what it is and make the decision. Right? Read on.
If thou wilt to keep the commandments.
You got to decide. Either I'm going to keep the commandments. Read on.
And to perform acceptable faithfulness.
Right.
He hath set fire and water before thee.
You got to make a choice. Either I'm going to choose to do wickedly and go into the fire, or I'm going to choose to do righteously and be washed with the water of the word. That's your choice. Everybody got that choice. Everybody counsel, everybody's mind has to make that choice. A lot of time the problem is the water is not shown to the children. That's our job. We got to go and give the people the opportunity to do righteous by opening up the scriptures. Let them see what righteousness really is. All right? To a lot of us, this is new. But it's the same Bible that's been in your house from all generations. Been amongst your family all generations. We don't have no new trick Bible. It's the same one. The Sabbath was always the Sabbath. The Lord's statutes, commandments were always there. Homosexuality was always an abomination. Swine's flesh was always an abomination. Crab, shrimp, lobster always was abomination. This is nothing new. But what? It was held back from you. You were not told. You were not educated. You didn't have a choice to make. You had two choices, wicked or wickeder. You had evil or evil. Baptist or Pentecostal. Methodist or Seventh-day Adventist. Right? Jehovah wickedness. Right? You had your choices of being Muslim. Where you at? What about being a Hebrew Israelite? That wasn't even given to you. Right? But now the Most High has given us that choice. That listen, you could be wicked or you could be righteous. You know?
Stretch forth thy hand,
right,
unto whether thou wilt.
Right.
Before man is life and death. And whether him liketh shall be given him.
Read.
For the wisdom of the Most High is great, and he is mighty in power, and beholdeth all things.
Come on.
And his eyes are upon them that fear him.
Right, and his eyes upon them that fear him. So he's watching us. His eyes upon them that fear him. We are here together on this day at this time because we fear the Most High. And we're going to keep his commandments. We're going to do what he said to do. Okay? We don't fear the pastor. We don't fear grandma being upset with us because know you're supposed to bring, this offering to the church, right? You come to the Shabbat service. All right, read on.
And he knoweth every work of man. He hath commanded no man to do wickedly.
Right, he has commanded no man to do wickedly. Okay, if you commit adultery, that's you. If you stole, that's your own mind. If you're being covetous, that's your own spirit. Okay, that's not the Most High. He didn't cause you to do that. Right? If you want to be contentious, if you want to be a striker, as the Bible says, right? Right? What does it mean to be a striker? Huh? Like to fight, right? Exactly. That's your spirit. That's not the Most High. Well, the Most High made me like this. I'm a striker. Nah. You can't blame the Father for that. If it's sin, it's you. Read.
Neither hath he given any man license to sin.
Right. Neither is he given any man license to sin. So nobody has a sin license or sin pass. Okay. So you can forget blaming the Most High for your wickedness. When he seals up instruction, it's going to be in righteousness. When he gave a dream, a vision upon the night, it was to do what was right. So the visions that Joseph got from the Most High was to do what was right. Okay? But he didn't give a vision for Joseph to do anything. He was just showing him the future. He was showing him that this thing is going to take place in the future. So now his brothers and his father and everybody getting upset because of his dream. But there's no sin in that. He didn't say, yo, bow to me, I had a dream, bow to me now. Right? He said, I had a dream, and that's it. Okay. Let's go back to story of Joseph. Genesis.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the same.
Right. His brothers, they stayed angry over these dreams. But his father said, you know what? His father was wise enough, Jacob was wise enough to know that dream got to come from Yah. Let me see how that plays out. All right. If it be Yah's will that we have to bow to him, then that's what it's going to be. And that's an understanding we all got to have. Sometimes if it be the Most High's will for you to do something that you formerly thought you wouldn't want to do, but now you see that this is where the Most High is guiding you, so be it. We have to make sure that we're not trying to obstruct the Most High's will with our own vain opinion. The Most High is showing you to do something, you got to learn how to move in that spirit. That's what's talking about being spiritual. Okay? You got to be able to move in that spirit and say, okay, before I wouldn't have done this, but this is clearly the Most High guiding me to do this. Okay? Putting me in a situation. All right? I didn't grow up as many brothers that's out there that teach this word. We weren't young men saying, yeah, I can't wait to grow up and prophesy. That was the furthest thing from my mind. Getting in front of people talking about the Bible. I didn't want to go to church. My mother made me go to church. I wanted to sit there and stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, and get my money in this plate. And I try to, stop at the corner store on the way to church, get my own candies, fill up my pockets, and then give the rest to the church. Right? All kind of things we did. Okay. My brother had to go take that walk. That MUD, man, we tried to scheme on how we gonna get this money and don't put it in the collection plate. Knowing people watching us, right? They don't even watching us. Just put the envelope in there. Could you open the envelope? Did you seal it tight? Damn. Can't get none of this money out of here. Right? We weren't thinking about church. Right? We weren't thinking about it. But what? The Most High corrects your steps. He put you where he wants you to be. He decided, you know what? Go prophesy my word. I'm like, what? I don't want to go prophesy. Go prophesy my word. I remember when I first came to this truth, what was it, 94, brother talking to me, had the mitre on and the garment on. And I'm listening to him, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds good, but I ain't going to be dressing like that. This guy looked like one of those guys from, what was that group that was out, African Mambata? Huh? What this guy got on? He had studs on it, and studs on it and everything, right? And I'm like, man, I hear the word, I'm not gonna deny the truth, but man, I ain't trying to walk around the street corner teaching about you crazy. Right? Lo and behold, you know what I mean? What do you know? That's all I do. The one thing I said I wouldn't do, but that was man speaking. That's a young man speaking in his own spirit. I don't know. I saw it look foreign to me. It looked like something that I couldn't get. When a lot of us are faced with things in the scriptures, that's that same spirit. You see something, you're like, oh no, that's not for me. I can't do that. Or can you? Okay. If the Most High wills it to you, you will do it. Right? He will correct you. Okay. It's a humbling that has to happen. A lot of people talk about being humble, but the only one we really to be humble to is the Most High God, which then tells us how to interact with every spirit and everyone around us. First, we humble ourselves to the Father. He humbles us to tell us, okay, well, this is how you're supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to do. Okay. So, young men in this truth, young ladies in this truth, we have to understand that you might have ideas. Your ideas might get interrupted with the will of the Most High. You got to be prepared to walk in it. And once you walk in it, you realize, man, that was better than what I was thinking. Right? The life he chose for me is better than the life that I was trying to live. Who knows where that life was going to take you? You know where this life will take you. You know the end result. Right? It is written. All right, read on.
Verse 12. And his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said unto Joseph, do not thy brethren feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, here am I. And he said to him, go, I pray thee, see whether it be well with thy brethren, and well with the flocks, and bring me word again. So he sent him.
So he sent Joseph to do what? To go check on who? His brothers. Right? What was his brothers doing? What were they doing? Or what were they sent to go do? Feed the flocks, feed the sheep, right? Over in Shechem. So they were over in Shechem, feeding the flock, feeding the sheep. And he said, Joseph, go see if your brothers is doing what they're supposed to be doing, and come back and tell me. Now, as those of us that have brothers and sisters, right? That brother that comes and reports back to the parent, they're not well liked. All right. We had a lot of words for them, and none of them was nice, right? That went there, go there and carrying word back to the parents of what's going on out here. So when he rolled up on the scene, they already know this cat's a spy, man. For the parents, we're not trying to deal with you. They already have beef, right? If Israel was thinking, he said, man, I shouldn't use Joseph in this way because they already don't like him as it is. Now I'm gonna make him police. And this is not gonna go well. I'm gonna make matters worse, right? But what? He's being guided by the Spirit to make matters worse, right? Read on.
So he sent him out of the valley of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, what seekest thou? And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their flocks.
Right.
And the man said, they are departed hence. For I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan.
Right.
And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him.
To do what?
To slay him.
They said, hey, come. Now, where were they supposed to be at? They were supposed to be in Shechem, right? So now they over there in Dothan, doing what they're not supposed to be doing. So when they saw him coming, they was like, oh, here come the police. Here he come. But they already know now they're going to get in trouble. Now he's going to go carry word back to Israel and let them know that we're not in Shechem feeding the flocks. We over there do them, doing whatever they're doing over there. We said probably partying it up, right? Doing, hanging out instead of doing what they're supposed to be doing. So they said, man, we would slay this young man. They were so angry when they saw him come around the corner. They were like, yeah, we'll kill this cat before he mess up our little outing here, right? Read on.
Verse 19. And they said one to another, behold, this dreamer cometh.
So now they start calling him the dreamer, right? Now they be sarcastic with him. Here come the dreamer, and we all supposed to bow down in front of him. Here he come, right?
Come now, therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit, and we will say, some evil beast have devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dream.
They said, let's see us serve him now. We kill him, throw him in a pit. You know what I mean? So they were thinking what? They were meditating all kind of cruelty to their brother. All right? You say that the nation Israel, we've been off from the beginning, man. How they gonna be treating their brother like that? All right. That's wicked to think those thoughts, Con? Right? Could we think them thoughts about our brethren? Okay. That's against the law of the Most High to think that way towards your brother, towards your sister. Right? No matter if it's sibling rivalry or whatever the case may be, you can't think that you're going to kill or you hate your brother or you hate your sister. Okay? I know, John.
What is it?
Yeah, we get one.
Leviticus 19:18.
Yeah, let's get that. Leviticus 19, verse 18.
Leviticus 19, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Most High.
Right, so we should not avenge or have any grudge towards one another. We should not hate one another. Okay, but we should love one another. Everybody understand that? All right, so go back.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 21. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered them out of their hands.
Right, so who's Reuben? Firstborn, the oldest son. Okay, he heard the brothers conspiring against Joseph, and he delivered Joseph from that. He stepped in and said, "No, I ain't going down like that." He's the oldest brother. He's the authority of all the brothers. Right, you know?
And said, let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands,
right,
to deliver him to his father again. And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat.
Right, so they took his coat of many colors that his father has given him. They stripped it off of him. Read on.
His coat of many colors that was on him. And they took him and cast him into a pit.
Right, so they did as Reuben said. Now, Reuben said this because he said, listen, maybe if we do it this way, these guys will calm down, and then what? I can get them later and take them back home to Israel, to his father. All right, this will appease them and save him. All right, read on.
And the pit was empty. There was no water in it. And they sat down to eat. And they lifted up their eyes and looked. And behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels, bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come, and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him. For he is our brother in our flesh, and his brethren were content. Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt.
So they sold out their brother for how much money? 20 pieces of silver. They sold out their brother. They said, listen, we ain't gonna kill him. His blood be on our hands. Because they knew that murder was wrong. But one thing they didn't realize, just hating your brother is just as wrong. All right? You don't have to actually physically kill someone to be guilty of murder. Anybody understand that? Let's check that out. Hold that and give me Matthew 5. Let's check that out. They was already guilty.
5:21.
Yep.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 21. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not murder, and whosoever shall murder shall be in danger of the judgment.
Right.
But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause.
Without a what?
Without a cause.
So what? They were angry with Joseph. Did they have a reason to be angry with him? No. He didn't do anything to them. Okay? He did nothing to his brethren but tell them about his dream. Or be the last born. Or be favored by the father. But that wasn't him that did that. But they were angry with him without a cause. Right? Read on.
Without a cause, shall be in danger of the judgment.
Right.
And
shall be in danger of the judgment. You know what? Shall be in danger of what? The same judgment as if he killed him. Read on.
And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka,
right,
shall be in danger of the council.
Raka mean what? Useless. Like you want nothing to do with him. You shall be in danger of the council. Read on.
But whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire.
Right. That's it on that. So we cannot just hate one another, just be angry with a brother. You don't even know the brother. There's a lot of brothers, they be angry with brothers just because of what school they go to. I mean, how ridiculous is that, man? I can't stand them brothers because they go to, that school or this school. What difference does it make? You don't know that, brother. Okay? Wait to be offended before you're offended. It'll be pre-offended. I'm just offended. What are you offended about? The man said nothing to you. Right? You have not conversed with the man not once, but you're offended. I just don't like it. Right? We can't have that spirit in Israel. We cannot just not like or have an issue with a brother. You don't even know the brother. You haven't spoken to him. You haven't done anything to him. You have no interaction with him. Okay? That's a wicked spirit. If that spirit come upon you, rebuke that spirit. Say, now, you know what? I'm not going to move in that spirit. I don't know that brother. I'm not going to say nothing evil about it. Right? All right? We got to be careful with that. Because we can't say we love the Father and we hate our brother. What does Scripture say about that? If a man say he loved the Father but hated his brother, he's a what? He's a liar. He's a liar. So we don't want to be lying about loving the Most High, yeah. Right? How can the Most High hate his brother and love the Most High, but you don't see the Most High? Okay, you see your brother. All these scriptures, I'm just paraphrasing, but all these scriptures are there to guide us to understand we can't have that type of spirit. Okay, we make sure that what? We meet each other, we all brothers, man. Right? Now, if somebody is, being wicked, they might have to be extradited. You might not be able to deal with that person. But that's if the person is unrepentant. And the scriptures have a caveat for that. It tells us about that. You got a brother amongst you, he's wicked and he's unrepentant. The scriptures say, treat that man like a heathen man. And you know how we deal with the heathen man, right? You don't see any up in here, right? Right? So we don't fellowship with them. Okay, so all this understanding is in the scriptures. Let's go back to Genesis.
Genesis chapter 37, verse 29. And Reuben returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit, and he rent his clothes. And he returned unto his brethren, and said, The child is not, and whither shall I go? And they took Joseph's coat, and killed a kid of the goats, and dipped the coat in the blood. And they sent a coat of many colors, and they brought it to their father, and said, This have we found. Know now whether it be thy son's coat or no. And he knew it, and said, It is my son's coat. An evil beast hath devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent in pieces. And Jacob rent his clothes, and put sackcloth upon his loins, and mourned for his son many days.
Right, so what? They made up a story and said some beast killed him. He said he's for sure torn up by some beast. They said, I'm not sure if this is his coat. They knew it was his coat. Whole thing they plotted and planned. Okay. All right. So Israel out the door, you know, the nation, the sons, the tribes, was up to all kind of wickedness when it comes to their brother. It also shows you, it's also a prophecy of what happens later on in Israel, of the tribes splitting, right? With Joseph being the head of the northern tribe. But that's another class, but to show you that this is a prophecy of also of that that's going to come about way in the future when we're established as a nation. Okay? But at this point in time, all this was being set up so that Joseph could be in Egypt. Okay? So let's read on.
And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, For I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him. And the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's.
Right, so the Midianites bought him from the sons of Israel, the brothers. They took the boy to Egypt and sold him to the Egyptians. The Midianites, they just are traveling merchants. They're like, you know, like a gypsy. They go from one place to another. They bring their wares and their visuals, and they sell it here, and they keep it moving. So they're like a traveling, you can buy anything when they come into town. You know what I mean? They come into town in a long train of all kind of things for sale. And when they come to Egypt, they saw the young boy, and they said, okay, we'll buy him to be a servant. Okay? So they took the boy in, right? Read on.
And the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's, and captain of the guard. Chapter 38. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned in to a certain Adullamite, whose name was Hira. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. And he took her and went in unto her.
So what? He went and he laid with this Canaanite woman. Okay, this is Judah. All right, read on.
And she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Kezib when she bare him. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar.
So now, you know, this is in time. A lot of time has passed here. So he had these 3 children with Shula, right? And now his son rose to the age of marriage. Which is the age of marriage? What age? 20, right? He grew to the age of marriage, of manhood, and he went and got a wife for his son You know?
Verse 7.
And her name was Tamar. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 7. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Most High.
Right.
And the Most High slew him.
Right, so was off. Okay. Was going off. He was wicked in the sight of the Most High. So the Most High took him out. Right, read on.
And Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother.
Right, because this is a custom in Israel, that if a man has a wife, and he has no son, that the brother of that man would then take, or a man has a wife, he has no son, and he dies, the brother of that man can now have a son with his wife, with his brother's wife that passed away. And that son will be the continuation of that brother that passed away. Meaning that son would belong to the brother that's no longer with us. He will be named after that brother. And he will continue the lineage of the brother that was slain. All right. He will not continue the lineage, you know, of the brother that's alive, the brother that laid with the wife. Okay, read on.
Verse 9. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his.
Right. So Onan knew if he went and had seed with this woman, that the seed would not be his seed. It would not be a son that carries on his lineage, his household. It'd be for his brother. Read on.
And it came to pass, when he went into his brother's wife,
right,
he spilled it on the ground.
Right. So instead of him trying to impregnate the woman, he spilled it on the ground. Okay. He pulled out, he spilled it on the ground. All right. Read on.
Lest that he should give seed to his brother.
Lest that he could try to prevent what? Pregnancy. Right? He tried to prevent the pregnancy. All right, read on.
And the thing which he did displeased the Most High, wherefore he slew him also.
So now Onan caught his death. Most High wasn't playing with us. Okay? He said, man, he told you to do something honorable, and you took an honorable action and made it dishonorable. Okay, by laying with the woman, the purpose the Most High wanted him to lay with the woman was to bring forth a seed to his brother. You can't go lay with the woman and then you don't want to bring forth seed. Okay, so the Most High, what? He put him to death for that. You know.
Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, Remain a widow at thy father's house, till Shelah my son be grown. For he said, Lest peradventure he die also, as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house.
Right, so he said, wait till the other son reaches the age of marriage, and then we'll bring forth, then you will marry him. Right, read on.
And in process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died.
So now, who died now? Judah's wife died, right? The daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, she died. So now Judah's wife is dead. Read on.
And Judah was comforted and went up unto his sheep shears to Timnath, he and his friend Hira, the Adulamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, Behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnath to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife.
Right, so she was being impatient. And said, man, Shelah is grown. He didn't give me to Shelah. So she put on some different clothes. She took off that widow's attire. And she disguised herself, and she veiled up. And she went and sat in the way. Right? In a way that she know that what? That Judah would be passing through. Okay, so you know Judah was going to be passing through this way. So she sat there, waiting. Read on.
When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot.
Right.
Because she had covered her face.
Come on.
And he turned unto her by the way, and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law.
Right, so Judah was going off. Okay. He had no wife. He was jacked up, so he was going to buy a harlot. All right, it is. That's what's going down. Okay, so he thought she was just a harlot on the side of the street, right? He had no wife at home, so he said, why not? But could we buy harlots? Right? No, that's against the laws, statutes, and commandments of Most High. So Judah was going off at this point here. All right, we do not buy harlots. Let's get a law on that. Give me Deuteronomy to make sure. Oh, Judah bought a harlot. Why can't I buy a harlot? No, you cannot pay a woman for sexual favors. All right, that's against Torah. All right. All right. Give me 22:18. Let me see. Deuteronomy. Let's see. No. Oh. 18:22. They're gonna cause it to be a whole.
Oh, 23:17.
All right. Might be, cause her to be a whore. Cause her to be a whore. Yeah, that's one. That'll work. There's another one. So give me that one for now.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter,
Right.
to cause her to be a whore.
Right. So our daughters are not supposed to be prostituted. What does that mean? Prostituted means selling their bodies. Okay. That is against the law, statute, and commandment. You're not prostituting the daughters. Right. Read on.
Lest the land fall to whoredom.
Lest the land falls to whoredom. Okay. So this is against the law, statute, and commandments of the Most High God. Any other verses on prostitution? We'll go back, but I know it's quite a bit of verses. The topic that I don't touch too often. All right, go back to the story.
Genesis chapter 38, verse 16. And he turned unto her by the way and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come in unto me? And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, Wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, What pledge shall I give thee? And she said, Thy signet, and thy bracelets, and thy staff that is in thine hand. And he gave it her, and he came in unto her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away, and laid by her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend the Adulamite to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, for he found her not. Then he asked the men of that place, saying, Where is the harlot that was openly by the wayside? And they said, There was no harlot in this place. And he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of the place said that there was no harlot in this place. And Judah said, let her take it to her, lest we be shamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and thou hast not found her. And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, thy daughter-in-law, hath played the harlot, and also, behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Judah said, bring her forth, and let her be burnt. When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, by the man whose these are, am I with child? And she said, discern, I pray thee, whose are these? The signet and the bracelets and the staff. And Judah acknowledged them and said, she hath been more righteous than I.
Right? So he was about to put her to death for what? Meaning what? A whore, meaning a prostitute. Then he realized what? What did he realize? He's the one that lay with the woman. Okay? He didn't realize it was the same person, but he did so anyway. Right? So you can't bring judgment on somebody being a whore and you buying whores. Okay? You can't bring judgment on somebody that's sinning the same sin that you committing. Right? That would make you a hypocrite. Okay. So that's not of the Most High's will. So for you to bring judgment on anyone, on any judgment call, you have first to be clean of that judgment. Okay. So being a whore, like we say, is against, the commandments of the Most High. It should be rid out the land, but you can't be a whoremonger. Everybody understand that? You see it happening now in what? In the politics. Every 2 minutes, somebody else coming forward. Right? Everybody else up there acting like, oh, not me. Right? Everybody coming forward. Oh, yeah, well, this person retiring, that person resigning because they getting caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Right? Oh, they were touching this one, touching that one, doing this, doing that. All kind of madness is happening in the government on Capitol Hill. The whistleblowers everywhere. Everybody's in trouble, right? All these people that act right when somebody else was going through it and staying quiet, now what? Now it's coming out. YouTube, right? What's that guy? The anchor. He had to retire real quick. A real popular anchor because he had his hand in the cookie jar. Everybody doing wickedness up on Capitol Hill, right? So we are mindful that we don't keep these practices. Get Deuteronomy 23, verse 17.
Deuteronomy 23, verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
Right, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. But for us to really tell the daughters to be no whore, we cannot be any whoremongers. Everybody understand that? No. You can't tell the daughters you don't be a whore, but you will be a whoremonger. You know what I mean? That's what Judah was doing. He was saying, yeah, kill her, burn her for being a whore. Meanwhile, you, what do they call it, John? Meanwhile, you a John. Right? So we can't be guilty of the crime and then cuss our people out for being in the crime. Right, Reno?
Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Right, nor are men not to be sodomites. What does it mean to be a sodomite? A homosexual. Right? A sodomite.
Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of the Most High thy power.
Right.
For any vow. For even both these are abomination unto the Most High thy power.
So what's an abomination to the Most High? Being a what? A sodomite or a whore. Okay. Yeah, both these things are what? An abomination to the Most High. All right. They don't want them, not even in the congregation or nothing. So we don't want to be, we can't be sodomites or whores. Everybody understand that? All right. So right here, Judah about to kill Tamar, just to realize he the one that laid with Tamar. All right. Let's go back to the story.
Genesis chapter 38, verse 26. And Judah acknowledged them and said, She hath been more righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shelah my son, and he knew her again no more.
Right? So he didn't lay with her again. Read on.
And it came to pass in the time of her travail that behold, twins were in her womb.
Right?
And it came to pass when she travailed that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, This came out first.
Right?
And it came to pass, as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out. And she said, How hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name was called Pharez.
Mm-hmm.
And afterward came out his brother that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zara. Chapter 39.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. And the Most High was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Most High was with him, and that the Most High made all that he did to prosper in his hand.
Right. So he's a servant in the house, but everything this man did, it went well. If he told him to go do something, everything would just go right. That's how you know Most High is rolling with this man in the spirit. Right? He come and go till the sheep, everything is done correctly, everything is done. He goes to till the ground, the plants grow quicker. The fruit grows quicker. He deal with the sheep, they multiply better. Everything he did, it worked out better. Right? Read on.
And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him the overseer over his house.
Right?
And all that he had, he put into his hand.
Right? He said, man, I'm gonna make Joseph over everything in my house, so my house will be prosperous. It's kind of like in these big businesses. They find some CEO or some executive that can make everything run right. A lot of time the owner step back. The real owner, he don't do nothing in the business. They find some manager or somebody that they can put in the forefront to make everything run right and go well. They sit back and get all the benefit while that person does all the work. Okay. That's the same thing they do in companies today. The same thing. So Joseph had a position as like what's the guy that owned American Express, Ken Chenault, right? He's a Jake that was over all American Express, but he don't own anything there. For what? He was managing and making it run right. Okay. There's another Jake that they have put over Chrysler, a young man. He was the manager of all production of Chrysler motor vehicles, right? He the one that brought Chrysler back from bankruptcy and everything. And I brought all the new style Chryslers out, the 300M and all that kind of. It's that same young man, all right? He was a designer. They made him like a manager of all the Chrysler production. Brought the company back. Does he own Chrysler? No. Right? But what? His laborers, they benefited from. So same thing here with Joseph. He didn't own Pharaoh's house or any power in Egypt, but what? Because he was so prosperous, because everything he did went well, he made him what? Lord over his whole house. Making sure everything went right. All right? Read on.
And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house, and over all that he had, that the Most High blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake.
Right.
And the blessing of the Most High was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had, save the bread which he did eat.
Right.
And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph.
His master's wife did what?
Cast her eyes upon Joseph.
So now the master's wife saw Joseph and started to what? Huh? What?
Run game.
You said run game? What does it mean? She cast her eyes upon Joseph. He said covet, right? She wanted to deal with him sexually, right? She started to find favor in him. She said, man, I like him. She wanted to give herself to him, right? Read on.
And she said, lie with me. But he refused.
He did what?
But he refused.
But he refused, right? So there's nothing wrong with a young man refusing a woman's advances. Everybody understand that? All right? Our young men, sometimes they think that, oh, because a woman want to go there, they got to go there. He refused the woman. He said, man, get off me. All right? I'm not dealing with you like that. First of all, what? That would be what? Adultery, huh? Okay. And it's nothing wrong with a man refusing a woman. Okay, read on.
And said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath to my hand. There is none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me, but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against the Most High?
He said, how can I do this great wickedness and sin against the Most High? Okay. It's a great wickedness, adultery. Okay, hold that and give me 20 and 10, Leviticus. That's a great wickedness. Okay. Nowadays, today, they promote adultery. All the music promotes adultery. You take your girl and all these type of things. That's adultery being promoted. Okay. What is adultery? Let's get that defined.
Leviticus 20 and 10. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife.
With his what?
His neighbor's wife.
If you lay with a woman that has a man, you are committing adultery. Everybody understand that? No. That is what adultery is. When a man lays with a married woman, is adultery. Okay? That is the definition of adultery. When a man lays with a married woman, a woman that has a man, no matter the excuse, no matter the situation, oh, the man is out of town, or whatever the case may be, that ain't no excuse. Oh, he's doing 5 to 15. He ain't coming back. That ain't an excuse. That's his woman. Okay? You're not to lay with another man's woman. Elder man, understand that? Okay. All right. If you're a woman and you have not been divorced, then you are still married to the man that you was with. Okay? Unless you're divorced or you're widowed, is dead, then you are still married to that man. Okay? You cannot go seek another man out. Everybody understand that? Okay? It sounds basic, but it happens every day. Okay? They hide it in something called dating. I'm just dating. That means you're being a harlot right now, or you're being a whoremonger. You're laying and sleeping with men and women that you are not committed to. Okay? That is not of the Most High. That's fornication. All right, hold on. Give me first. Oh, you finished that? Is that it?
Oh, yeah.
No, finish that first and then give me First Thessalonians.
The adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
Right. The man and the woman have committed adultery. It's not just the woman because she was married, but it's also the man. You've also committed adultery. Because you have a responsibility with the Most High not to touch your brother's wife or your brother's girl. You have a responsibility to the Most High not to try to holler at your man, at a woman that you know has a man, and try to say, you better than him. Drop him, get with me. Drop that zero, get with his hero. Right? Right? All that foolishness, right? What your man got to do with me, right? No. If a woman has a man, you leave her alone, right? You talk to her. That should be question, if not number one, number two, right? If you're trying to pursue that woman. So you can know that from the door. Do you have somebody? If they do, have a nice day. That's it. Okay. If she says she's single, then you know you got to investigate that. You got to make sure she's single. Because somebody's going to tell you she's single, but she got friends. If she got friends, chances are she's not single. All right. Her idea of being single is because she doesn't have a wedding ring. Well, that's Esau's that's his captive mind, right? Because she don't have a wedding ring or she didn't sign a paper down in the government, don't make her single. What makes her single is that nobody's in her bed. Everybody understand that? That she's not laying with anybody. That's what makes her single. All right, we got to make sure we clarify these things because this society is very different than what the Most High told. Right? If a woman is laying with a man, that woman is that man's wife. Okay. And if she's not his wife, then she's a harlot. It's one of the two, one or the other. Right? There's no gray areas in between. Okay. 1 Thessalonians 4, and I start with the 3rd verse.
1 Thessalonians 4:3. For this is the will of the Most High,
right?
Even your sanctification, that ye should abstain from fornication.
Abstain from what?
Fornication.
That's what we're talking about. This is fornication. Adultery is a form of fornication. Whoredom is a form of fornication. Okay? Dating in this society is a form of fornication. Okay? Read.
That every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor, not in the lust of concupiscence.
Right, of concupiscence. What's concupiscence? That's unlawful, actions, sexual unlawful actions. So we are not to get caught up in fornication, but hold our bodies in honor. What does that honor mean? Respect. A respect for the Most High, respect for our own bodies. Read on.
Even as the Gentiles, which know not the Most High, that no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any matter.
Right.
Because that the Most High is the avenger of all such, as we also have forewarned you and testified. For the Most High hath not called us unto uncleanness,
right,
but unto holiness.
Right.
He therefore that despiseth.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Holiness. Yeah, he had not called us unto uncleanness, but unto holiness. So we ought to be a holy people. All right, we're not to be indulgent in fornication, adulteries, and things of that matter. Okay, so if a woman has a man, you leave her alone. Gun? All right, let's go back.
Genesis chapter 39, verse 10. And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day.
So she didn't give up. Day by day, she's pressuring the man. All right? Every day got something to say to him, putting pressure on the man. Okay, read on.
That he hearkened not unto her.
But he hearkened not unto her. He was a strong man. He said, listen, I'm not dealing with you like that. That's wickedness. Okay? I will not do this evil in the sight of the Most High. And remember, it's one thing you are doing the evil to the man, but you're also doing evil to the Most High. Because you might say, well, I don't like him anyway. I'll take his woman. That's what rappers be talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah, I had your girl, blah, blah, blah. Right? Like you doing something bad to him. But you dishonoring the Most High, yeah. Okay? That's what you really dishonor. Yourself and the Father. Read on.
To lie by her, or to be with her.
Right.
And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within.
Right.
And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand.
Right. So she yoked him up. Says she caught him by his garment and said, lie with me. He had to tear his garment off to get away from her. Right? To show that what she was pushing hard. Because a lot of times, men say, well, she kept pushing me, man. That's why, the things happen. No. This is an example of righteousness here. Joseph was being pushed and pushed and pushed, but did he give in? He stood strong. He said, no, I'm not going there with you. This is wickedness. All right? You don't want to have relations in wickedness. All right? When it's time to have relations, it's going to be in righteousness. It's going to be between you and your wife or your husband, and what the case may be. And that's where that belongs. To have any other sexual experience outside of that realm is against Torah. It's against the will of the Most High. Okay. I know society pushes it. They our young men, our young women in high school, they say, oh, you got to get rid of that V card. Man, hold on to your V card. There's no shame in that. All right? There's no shame in it. All right? To think there's shame in there, unless you marry, what sense does it make? If you're prepared to bring forth children, what sense does it make? What are you trying to get rid of? That's just them trying to indoctrinate you into that sinful mind state, that sinful life. So people pressure each other to do wickedness. All right? So now you're coming up in school and everybody's pressuring, oh, well, you still that? Oh, man, you got to get rid of that. You got to get with this person, that person, and back and forth. Right? Thinking that, making you feel like you less than because you're a virgin, especially for our young men. All right? Women might get pressured too, but I know our men, you reach a certain age and you talk about you're a virgin, people look at you like, what? For real? If you're not married, then you should be one. If you have no wife, no children, no husband, why wouldn't you be one? What's so bad about that? All right? There's nothing bad about it. There's no shame in it. Matter of fact, you should be glorified. So, yeah, I'm a virgin. Do you see my wife? Right? I would have a wife if I wasn't a virgin. That's got to be the new mentality of our young men. Okay? If I'm going to lay with a woman, I'm going to keep her. If I got a woman, she's right there. Okay? And if I'm not going to keep it, then I don't need to touch her. You understand that? All right, read.
Verse 12. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out.
Right.
And it came to pass, when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth, that she called unto the men of her house and spake unto them, see, he hath brought in an Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. And it came to pass, when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled and got him out. And she laid up his garment by her until his Lord came home. And she spake unto him according to these words, saying, the Hebrew servant which thou hast brought unto us came in unto me to mock me. And it came to pass, as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled out. And it came to pass, when his master heard the words of his wife, which she spake unto him, saying, after this manner did thy servant to me, that his wrath was kindled. And Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison.
Right, so what? She framed him. But she was so upset that she got rejected that instead of her just taking the rejection and going about her business, she what? She done want to retaliate. And what? Got the man locked up for something he didn't even do. Okay? She fabricated his whole story, right? And got Joseph locked up. All right? We know.
A place where the king's prisoners were bound. And he was there in the prison. But the Most High was with Joseph and showed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison.
Right.
And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison. And whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it. The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand.
Right, so what? Joseph, so now Joseph now gets thrown in prison and ends up being the head man in prison. Right? Yeah, now he running the prison. So everywhere he go, and that's how when the Most High want to bless you, he could bless you within any situation. You got thrown in prison. It could have been torment. It could have been horrible. It could have been terrible. He got to prison and what? He running the prison. The keeper of the prison is like, man, just go see Joseph. He'll tell you what to do. Joseph is a man down here. He walking around the prison. He probably got keys down there. Right? He's like, man, this guy can't be stopped. When the Most High is with you, no one can be against you. That's the understanding. The Most High is with him. Even though she tried to mess him up, get him killed, really. Because that kind of allegation will get the man killed. Talking about he tried to take me, rape me, or whatever the case may be. Man, the king ready to kill you. Anybody was ready to kill a man, woman, their wife comes to this man trying to rape me or take me. Right? So then what? The Most High preserved him. Still, because why? He was innocent. Okay, read on.
Because the Most High was with him, and that which he did, the Most High made it to prosper. Chapter 40.
All right, hold on. I'm going to stop right there. At this time, we have, what, 3 more chapters to go?
Just one more, right?
What
chapter?
1 more chapter we got to go. 1 more chapter? All right, we're going to take a break at this time before we go into the 40th chapter, and then we'll finish up afterwards. We'll take a half-an-hour break, stretch your legs, move around, take your lunch, whatever the case may be, and then we'll reconvene at 3:20. All right, hallelujah? All right.